It wasn't easy for the Allied armies to hold together amid a retreat that threatened to become a rout. Straggling and desertion became big problems. On the evening of 26th of August, a British cavalry officer rode into Saint-Quentin and was shocked to find the 2 battalions of British infantry lying exhausted, simply waiting to be taken prisoner. Incredibly, the colonels of the Warwickshires and the Dublin Fusiliers had given the town's mayor a written undertaking of surrender to be presented to the enemy to spare Saint-Quentin from a battle. Major Tom Bridges, the cavalry officer, hastily retrieved this damning piece of paper and somehow herded the infantrymen back on their feet, shuffling along the road to rejoin the army. But 3 weeks later, the 2 colonels were cashiered for, quote, conduct unbecoming officers and gentlemen. One of them, John Elkington of the Warwicks, aged 49, responded like a figure out of a romantic fiction by enlisting as a private in the French Foreign Legion, with which he lost a leg and won a Croix de Guerre. After the war, King George V pardoned Elkington and awarded him a DSO in recognition of his gallantry in pursuing rehabilitation. But the colonel lived out the rest of his life as a recluse and refused ever to wear his medals. Humbler soldiers who cracked suffered even harsher fates. Both the British and French resorted to drastic sanctions against those who decided it was all too much for them. One such was Private Thomas Highgate of the Royal West Kents. On the afternoon of the 6th of September, the day the French began their huge counter-offensive on the Marne, which rolled back the Germans from the gates of Paris, an English gamekeeper on a Rothschild estate just south of the capital surprised Highgate in a shed. The soldier made a personal decision that the glories of the Marne weren't for him, and he was wearing stolen civilian clothes, which damned him. Highgate was shot by a firing squad on the 8th of September, a ceremony watched by 2 companies of his comrades following an order from the corps commander. That officer wanted the execution to have the maximum deterrent effect, and orders to the provost marshal specified that Highgate should be killed, quote, as publicly as possible. And so he was. Today, such punishments are thought to have been barbaric, and victims receive posthumous pardons from the British government. To me, this is a moral conceit, to pretend that we can retrospectively impose on our forefathers the more humane values of the 21st century. What would you have done if you'd been a British or French general fighting a struggle for national survival and leading an army in danger of collapse? What's sometimes forgotten, it seems to me, is that men who run away in wars deserve our sympathy, but they also put at risk a host of their mates who must do double duty and sometimes make double sacrifice to compensate for those who flinch. I won't be so cruel as to say that Thomas Highgate and his kin deserve their fates, but I will say that if I'd been a commander in that distant era, I might have made the same decision on the 8th of September 1914. If soldiers had believed there was an acceptable way to get out of that ghastly clash of arms, who wouldn't have taken it?